are you guys doing later?
I'm going to be meeting up with an underwater Texan squirrel, and we're going to wrangle an Alaskan bullworm like rodeo. That's what I'm going to do.
I will be crusting the crab later.
Hell yeah.
Really? Because I'm going to go save the princess from another castle. So
Again?
Yeah. Again. Not bitch is always at the wrong fucking place at the wrong time.
How many fucking castles are there in this game? I can't.
Too many. Too fucking many is the answer to that question.
I know. We can't find her. She's this tall. This tall. Where is she?
She's at least 3 pixels, and we lost all of them.
All the pixels are gone.
Welcome back to the Gemini archives, everybody.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Here we are, finally, after I don't know how many months it's been.
Woohoo! We're back.
And we have a guest today. My brother-in-law, your husband, Quinn. Everybody say hello.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Celebrate.
Wait, no. We can only do 10 seconds of that, or else we'll get copyright stricken.
Oh, it's
yeah. Oh, what happened when we put it Everybody Dance Now and we had Francisco on? We had to re-upload the episode because it was blocked in certain countries.
Yeah, that actually did happen. We have 2 of that episode.
Damn it. So it's not always just like total copyright. Sometimes it's like, yeah, you can't listen to this in Canada. It's like, why? But anyway.
Yes, and if you notice that our audio quality is way worse than before, that's part of the reason why we haven't recorded, is because our stuff just crapped out on us. So we had to go back to Google Meets to record.
Oh, I was so angry because we had literally recorded a whole ass episode for Halloween. Literally, and it was amazing, and we loved it. And I don't even remember what we talked about. We talked about mimics and some other shit.
The mimic broke it. It broke our fucking shit.
Yeah, literally. And I went to go listen to it. Like, I went to go edit it, and it sounded like it was recorded 3 rooms away. I was like, what happened? It recorded through my laptop speakers and not through the microphone. I was like, what the fuck? So, and by the time I realized that, Halloween was just coming. It's like, well, we're not having a Halloween episode this year.
Yeah, it was just too close. So
we still haven't managed to, get new recording equipment. We're going to. So for now, it's just going to be this. We're going back to the Google Meet fucking sound quality, but it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
We're going to DIY this thing redneck style. We need a Mountain Dew can and a hanger and some duct tape.
That was right in my ear.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I know no one else can see this, but Quinn said that with the most stoic face I have ever seen.
Yeah.
My name's Cletus Dugelfrey, and I like chewing tobacco, eating spoons, and tossing my balls against the wall.
Ew.
I was going to say the other reason that we haven't been recording is because I've been sick as fuck for like almost 2 weeks. So I literally had no voice. And like today is the first day that I sound like myself in literally almost 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So here we are. We're fucking doing it. God damn it.
I just imagine when you said throwing your balls at the wall. Sorry, quick tangent. It like you throw the balls at the wall and it like slowly just falls down like a salamander or something. Like remember like Family Guy with remember Family Guy with the dead frog that Peter threw at the wall and he tried to pick it up? Yeah. Like that. It's just nuts, not even a frog.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's a bad image.
Yeah.
So really quickly, before we get into what we're going to talk about today, just a few housekeeping things. Things that have happened that I was going to talk about weeks, if not months ago, but just haven't been able to. 2 things. 1, I was on the Welcome to Hell podcast with friend of the show, Mr. Mike Abominator, who we had on last year. Hi, Mike. I did a black metal playlist show with him that was 5 hours long. So if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings and just long things in general, just give it a listen because it is so fucking long. But we had a blast, we looked at I think by the time we realized how long it had been, like we were 4 hours deep, and I'm like, there's no way 4 hours have just passed. So it was a lot of fun. We did that like a few weeks ago, right before I got sick. And I also, like a while ago, was on the Shred Beard channel, Hi Shred, and I did some live tarot readings. So if you would like to check those out, I'm going to have those linked down below. And yeah, and hope you set aside some time for that because, well, for Mike's episode anyway, because it was long as hell. But, you know, it was a good time. So those are things I was going to promote before, you know, they happened. But, you know, our mixer decided to just shit the bed and had other ideas. So,
cross.
Just
I
like
know.
the engine in a Dodge Intrepid exploded.
Yeah, our dad had a Dodge Intrepid, and that car literally did explode after a while.
It was bad. So I'll have that stuff linked if you want to check it out. But other than that, you know, we've just been living the life. Quinn's birthday was yesterday, as of the day we were recording this. So
yay!
Everybody say happy birthday, Quinn, in the comments.
Yes, tell him happy birthday. He turned 30, and we didn't even do much yesterday except go to dinner. Mm-hmm. But the week before, we went to New York City. Quinn's never been before, and we had ourselves a day. That's for sure.
That's an understatement.
So, oh yeah,
really good birthday. I got surprised with an amazing gift of going to Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, the production that was happening over at Lyric Theater, right in New York. You know, downtown, like Times Square.
Yeah, it's in Times Square. And Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy in the movies, I don't know how many people are Harry Potter fans, but Tom Felton, who played Draco in the movies, is on the show right now, like till May. He debuted 2 weeks ago now, but we went the week after he joined, and the fucking scramble to get those tickets. It was so expensive, and there was 14 seats left for the day we were gonna go. 14. So nice. we pulled it off, and I had to keep it a secret for 5 months, and I don't know how I did it because I'm a spoiler of a secret, huh?
We had to keep the secret.
Yeah, we collectively.
I knew.
Yeah, Megan knew. My mom knew. Everyone knew, but except for Quinn.
Even the person who's terrible at keeping secrets, such as Dad. You know.
Yeah.
Good old Doug. He was just like, you know how long I've been holding my tongue.
Yeah.
Because the thing about my father is that he will say it accidentally. Like he'll just be like, "Oh yeah, when we go see Harry Potter in New York," like it would just fall out of his face.
Yeah.
I've done that so many times. My mom, I swear, almost committed murder because that has happened before.
It's happened a lot. So but that was, and you know when we told him was 3 hours before we were going to go to the show. We went to dinner and we surprised him at dinner with the tickets, and we're like, we're going in like 3 hours. So it was rad. So it was such a good time. And if you're ever in the New York City area and actually want to go to a Broadway show, because I know Broadway can be kind of silly and like flamboyant or whatever, but that one's so cool because it's a lot of like special effects, no singing whatsoever. It's just all acting and like some choreography, but there's special effects and fire and all this shit. Like it's so cool. So highly recommend.
I want to go just because you told me about the Dementors. For anyone that doesn't watch Harry Potter, they're like these Grim Reaper looking like things that fly down from the sky.
Yep. And they guard Azkaban prison, which is like the wizard prison in that world. And oh my gosh, the effects for the Dementors in the show, we were in the middle, like mezzanine. It was below the like upper balcony, but because we couldn't even get floor tickets, they were all gone. And but there was one Dementor that was hanging from the ceiling and was like, right in our face. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was meeting each one of the levels, the ground floor, the mezzanine, then the balcony.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Oh, I almost cried. I was so excited. I wasn't even scared. I was like enthralled. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
That was the best day of my life.
Honestly, I know. We were so excited.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And we had a good time in New York. Quinn's never been. So I'm like, and this is his first birthday away from, his family and, all that. So we made it memorable.
Yeah.
So anyway, awesome. That's all we're going to say about that. We just had a good time for your birthday. So, yep. And now Quinn's got the week off. So We're gonna just relax and have a nice holiday.
I just did a little happy dance. No one saw that, but
Do the jellyfish jam.
yes,
I know.
I straight up just danced right now.
The fact that the jellyfish jam was played at our wedding, by the way, probably my favorite thing ever.
Are you
That was-
serious?
Yeah, Quinn put it in as a joke, and the DJ of our wedding actually played it.
He called her bluff, and it's like, oh, I'm playing that.
He did. He was awesome. He put in like other shit that we didn't even ask for that I genuinely liked. He picked up the vibes real quick.
Yeah, he
So
put
For
in,
those
like-
of you that are unaware, this is the jellyfish jam. We're gonna play like 10 seconds of it.
maybe 5.
And it's not actually called that, I don't think, but that's what all the millennials know it as because it's SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called the Stadium Rave.
Stadium rave, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the song they were referring to. That was played at Lauren and Quinn's wedding.
Yes. Anyway, shall we get into the episode itself?
So we asked Quinn to come on today because we're going to be talking about something that I think we had mentioned like a while ago we want to do an episode about, and then we were like, oh, we should do this for the Halloween episode, and then the Halloween episode didn't happen. So this is our pseudo Halloween episode, like a month later.
Yeah, we're almost to
Just about.
Christmas. We're just pushing it, so
Thanksgiving is in 2 days.
yeah.
So we decided, yeah, let's do it now. Fuck it. And Quinn is also very knowledgeable about this type of thing, which is why we were like, hey, you should come on the podcast. We're talking about SCPs, which stands for
Security
Quinn knows.
containment breach or whatever.
No, wait, hold on. I got it.
No.
I got it.
Oh, that's the game Containment Breach.
That's Containment Breach, which is
Oh,
there's
my
a game
bad.
about it. So definitely play that. But it's called. It stands for Secure, Contain, Protect.
That's it.
It's a secret organization of like different entities, anomalies, different stuff like that. Think about Cabin in the Woods, where they have all those like under lockdown and everything like that. If you've seen it, it's a bunch of different creatures, different cursed objects, you name it, and different stuff. And they're all sorted into categories. Some of which we'll get into a little bit more, but it's like different things like, you know, the rake or a bunch of different folklore, mimics are probably in there, different stuff. A bunch of crazy things, even stuff you wouldn't believe.
They could be creatures, they could be places, they could be, it doesn't matter. It's like basically an anomaly, whether it takes the form of a creature or a place. And it's contained by this, you know, organization, so it doesn't affect the general population. So, and it's all like fictitious. It's like creepypastas, but
I was just gonna say it's kind of like a creepypasta. It's like, you know, like we've talked about the back rooms before.
yeah,
Like kind of falling into that realm of just like it could be real, but it isn't. So
yeah, it has its own website of all the different SCPs like that have been made up over the years and stuff. And
I'm gonna link that website because it's very fascinating to go on. It's almost like Wikipedia, but it's like it's basically just like a database for like all the different anomalies. But it's cool to check out.
It's so detailed and just so it feels real. So that's why people really love it. And you know what? We could probably do so many episodes about SCPs. You know, because there's literally over 3,000 of them. So, I mean, we're probably not going to talk about all of them, but, you know, we could do a few episodes about them. Ones we just find really fascinating. Because there's probably some that are like duds, you know, like whatever. But,
yeah. So, today we're each going to talk about a couple SCPs. And this is really exciting because I didn't even really know what it was. I vaguely knew. Like, I remember we were like sitting having dinner a while ago and you guys like brought it up. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And then, you know, I was like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, actually. So, no, it's you know, they're cool to check out because there's so, like you said, there's so many different ones. Some are like objects even. Like, just random objects. Like the ones
places. So
the ones that I'm going to be talking about are, I guess, technically considered objects. So we each, you know, want to talk about like a couple different ones that we find interesting. And I'm really excited about it because, you know, this is just like our banter that we have like when we're just like sitting and like hanging out, you know? Like,
that's true.
Like literally we'll just sit and then have a full-blown discussion about like just some weird cryptic shit. So
I know.
yeah, so that's what this is.
Should I start?
Yes.
Okay. This is Lauren, by the way. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Lauren.
I know people.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Meeting.
Yeah. Well, it's people can't tell us apart sometimes, so
No, I got
kind
Yeah,
of
sorry about it.
we should be more aware. At least me, just at least say my name so people can keep track. But I'm probably gonna sound shitty on this though because we're recording through Google, so that's okay.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, it's fine. So I got two I want to talk about. And the first one, I really love watching the Smosh cast, like Smosh's podcast. And this was a recent one. And Shane brought up, because they talked about SCPs like briefly, but he brought up this one. I've never heard of it before, but I found this horrifying and fascinating at the same time. And it's SCP-1733. And it's basically a videotape. And what's on there is the season opening basketball game at TD Garden in 2010, I believe it was. And it was between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. And basically, the anomaly on the tape makes it so the people are trapped in there. And every time the tape starts over, it starts the game over again. And people are aware that they're in there. Like, the more the tape plays, the more that they're, becoming self-aware of what's going on. And it's bizarre when you look into it.
Yeah.
So, I know.
Dude, could you imagine though?
I know. It's like a time loop, basically, in that tape.
Uh-huh.
Because it was from a DVR, and they tried to, like, recreate it on the DVR, like the SCP Foundation tried to recreate it. They couldn't recreate it. It was just, like a freak accident, basically, that this happened.
An anomaly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so what happened is like at the beginning, people just felt like it was like a lot of deja vu. Like it wasn't like, out of the ordinary, like the first few times they played it, and they played it a lot of times, which is probably not the best thing, but
Yeah.
so what happened though is after they, aired it the first time, someone posted a technical foul about it, and it never happened in the original tape. And he like uploaded it to Facebook or whatever, and it was between like a couple of the players. I don't remember their names, but when the SCP Foundation saw that, they were like, oh shit, and they had to like delete the video in the post off of Facebook. And they basically like gave them like mind erasing pills so the people don't remember that happened. And that's when they took the tape and they, started like watching it over and over again and seeing what was going on. And then it's like, first like the changes were like kind of subtle with like the way the players are playing and stuff. And then after each time, it's like the audience is self-aware like of what's going on. But the players, it took them way longer to realize like, oh shit, something is going on. So by replay number 34, literally number 34, that's when the teams were like, okay, something's up. Like, this isn't right, Like, I feel like we've done this like a million times. And it was to the point where they were so in sync with each other's playing and stuff that the score didn't even budge the entire game. Like, it was like choreographed almost, the way that they were playing, And, by like the 45th time, that is when all hell started to break loose. The players didn't want to play anymore. The audience started rioting and stuff, and they were trying to like blow, literally, this is a TD Garden in Boston. They're trying to blow up the doors to get out, and they're like sealed shut. Like the doors won't even open at all, no matter what they do. And like riots broke out and fucking like, it was bad. And like people got aggressive. And then when they kept watching it, a group formed called the Faith Keepers, who were convinced that they were trapped in this fucking place as like some kind of like religious like not like a prophecy, but like what is it, spiritual punishment. There we go.
So
Like they were
like hell.
Yeah, like it was hell because of over-consumerism. Like they thought, oh, we're being punished because we're on our phones too much. We use technology too much. So literally, they were burning their phones, their keys, their wallets, like anything that was related to technology and consumerism, and like was anything tied to like the real world. What?
Sorry, I was just thinking it's just
What?
like Karen fucking like glued to her Amazon shopping, and it's like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't have spent that much money.
Yeah.
Now I'm in hell.
Well, it's 2011. I mean, Amazon wasn't really big then.
Oh, never mind.
So it was more so like Facebook and like MySpace, you know, like all that. So
She shouldn't have upgraded to MySpace Premium.
yeah, no kidding.
That 16 friend slots and everything should have stuck to the.
No kidding. And then so the more that they played the tape too after this is the Faith Keepers group was starting to grow, and they were recruiting people, and like they were starting to sacrifice people, like literally kill people as an offering to get out of the tape. And every time they replayed it, they came right back to life. So they are literally stuck. Killing doesn't get you out of there. Explosives won't get you out of there. Rioting, whatever. They are just stuck in there forever, you know? And that feeling of helplessness is what makes this so fucking bizarre. But once they got to, I think it was like well into the 100s, like 120 something, they wanted to sacrifice the kids there. And as soon as they said that, the SCP Foundation's like, we are never playing this tape again because we don't want to lose kids. We don't want to see that. So after that happened, they shelved it and they haven't played it since. So,
Holy shit.
isn't that crazy? And it's funny because with SCPs, there's different classes for it. So they're safe. Euclid,
which is like it's like there's some threat to it, but not as much.
Yeah. So they go by order. Safe is 1, Euclid's 2, and then
the third one is Keter, which is like it's hard to contain, and containment might be seen as impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, which is Thaumiel, which is like the very tip top of the organization.
Like it's the most dangerous one.
It's like the most dangerous, but also very useful to the Foundation's operations and how they operate.
Yep. So this one was marked safe because it's not going to affect anyone outside of that tape. Like only the people in that tape are affected by this, so it's considered safe. But it's dangerous to them if you keep playing the tape. But they refuse to because they don't want children sacrificed, you know. So isn't that nuts?
Dude, this is the exact type of thing that fucks me up because like it's kind of like a glitch in the Matrix type thing, like loosely. And I know we were gonna like do a whole episode about that, of just like real life instances where people are just like, you know, every time I put this object here, it disappears, and then I'll find it like months later in a different place, you know, or just stuff like that. And it's like, that is the kind of thing that fucks me up so bad because there's no like way to justify it.
Exactly. And the craziest part, I didn't even mention this, when they looked at the people that were in the tape, like in the crowd, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Like they weren't missing technically. Everything seemed normal, but they were stuck in the tape. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So
I think another thing to think about too is like it's just the, like, not to bring back Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, one small little spoiler, which I don't think is that bad, but like the fact that there's like time paradoxes and different stuff like that, where they're trying different things to create a different outcome, but it's so choreographed into a T exactly what happened in that game, in that basketball game, that they can't deviate from what actually happened. So they just keep resetting like it's like Groundhog Day or like a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, it's like that Supernatural episode, the Groundhog Day one, where Dean is in a time loop, basically. Yeah,
and then Sam has to save him, and he knows everything that happens, like, to a T, like, right down to the second.
That's what this is. This is the Groundhog Day episode of Supernatural in a videotape.
The Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. That's crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that nuts?
Yikes.
I just learned about that recently. That one's so cool.
That's wild.
But it is scary. And that's a safe one, keep in mind. That's a safe SCP.
A safe one where they could have possibly sacrificed children.
Yeah.
I have so many questions. Like, how? Like, how does this even happen? You know, like, You know, just on a physical level, like what does it take for an anomaly to be created? You know, it's just like there's so many different, it like fucks with your sense of like reality or like your perception of reality. Yeah, so it's like, what's even real? You know, like
I know. It's like, how does this happen?
That tape was probably sold at the last Blockbuster in existence.
Yeah, probably.
Fucking Blockbuster.
It was in the back, past the porn section. It's like it kept going.
And it has the beads doors, and then there's like a whole like titanium door. And it's like, you don't go in there.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, they took it from a DVR, like someone's DVR. So what happened to apparently it wasn't the DVR because they tried to recreate it and it just couldn't. So something must have happened.
Someone
weird.
Trying to locate the DVR too.
Well, they did find the DVR, and that's what they did. They tried to like recreate it on the DVR.
Oh shit.
And they couldn't. So yeah, it was nuts. So that one was crazy. And I really liked that. And then so that's the object one. But now the other SCP I chose is a place. And ironically, and funny enough, it's an IKEA. So it's SCP-3008-1. What happened is this man comes out of the nowhere after being missing for 3 years and was talking about how he was stuck in an IKEA. And the police are like, how are you stuck in there? Like, you could have left at any time. And like, you know, the way he was describing it is it was endless. Like, there was no way to find a way out. Someone from the SCP Foundation happened to be listening to his interrogation, and they're like, we need to go to this IKEA immediately and like shut it down, pretend there's like black mold. They gave this guy mind erasers and basically made up a story that was airtight about him being kidnapped for 3 years. And he believed it because obviously his fucking memory went. And they went to that IKEA that he came from, guarded it off, and no one was allowed to go in or out of it. So they had it contained in that way. So they sent like 4 teams of people in there. Alpha, Bravo, whatever, Charlie, Delta. Yeah. So the first 3 teams were fine, unaffected. Team Delta, no response. And they were gone in there for 7 months, like indefinitely, but except for one person who came out 7 months later. And he was running with his whole life and like screaming his head off. And there's this, what looks like an employee from the store, but he has no face. He's 7 feet tall, and his arms and hands are way too improportionate with his body. Like, his arms were like 5 feet long. Like, that's just not normal. And his hands were ginormous, like almost dragging on the ground. And he kept saying, the store's now closed, please exit the building, like all pissed off, you know? So the guy makes it out of IKEA from their team, and with the employee behind them, and he like took a breath, and before the team could even do anything, this IKEA employee grabs him by the head, pulls his head off, dead right there. And then that's when the team wakes up and shoots the freaking employee, and it dies too. So they took the bodies away, and they're like, okay, what the hell's going on? They found that, the guy from Team Delta, perfectly fed, no signs of trauma. He was totally fine. So they're like, that's bizarre. Like, he was stuck in there for 7 months. How was he finding food, But when they did the autopsy on the employee, he had no organs, no blood in his body at all, no veins, no nothing. And his uniform was almost like another layer of skin on his body. Like, it wasn't like clothes. It was like attached to him. So they're like, he shouldn't be alive. So they named him SCP-3008-2, who, guards the IKEA, and it's not just one, there's a bunch of them, bitch. It's like they come in like droves of these employees. So basically what they figured out, because after the team, got lost in there, they're like, okay, no more people are going in there. We're just going to send in drones, dude bros use them to like film the mountains or whatever. They're using it to find this SCP,
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the Dude Perfect guys, getting their drones.
In this freaking IKEA. But what they found when they they were flying it all around and stuff is that it's so much bigger on the inside than the outside. Like, think of a standard IKEA, you know? I mean, it's pretty big, but it's not huge. They literally, that one is like massive, like expansive with no end, to the point where there were colonies of people living inside of the IKEA. Like, they set up their own towns and barricaded them with furniture. I'm not even joking. That's what they saw.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like factions and different stuff
Yep.
like that.
And apparently the reason why no one went hungry is because every day IKEA sells food and stuff, the food was replenished. And they don't know how it happens, but they were fed, you know?
It's those Swedish meatballs.
It's those meatballs, man.
Well, that's what I was
They'll
going
get
to say
you
initially. I'm like, I mean, 7 months of Swedish meatballs sounds fucking horrible, but
Well, it's more than
it's better than
meatballs.
starving.
Yeah, I know. It's more than just meatballs. It was a lot of like different food.
Yeah, they
so.
sell
No,
a
I
lot of different food for sure, but yeah, I love those meatballs.
And what they found too, and only 14 people escaped from that IKEA. 14.
Wow.
And what they found is that some were in there for like a couple months. Some were in there for like years. Like the first guy who came out. And every time they interviewed them, they got like, the police and the SCP interviewed them and stuff. They got all this information about it and then wiped the memory. So the people would never remember that they were in there.
That's nuts.
Isn't that crazy? They like use that's the thing I like notice about SCP stuff too. Like, they wipe people's memories about it because they don't want them to remember it. They have these like pills. I forgot what they were called, but basically these little pills that, erase your whole memory about it. So
I'll give a quick little tangent. It's a Y909 compound. After the break from the first song, I'll get into where that came from, and it deals with my second SCP, but we'll talk about that later.
yeah, we'll talk more about that after. But so, and what they found too is that with the drones and everything, they looked, and the SCP 3008-2s, the employees, they were not hostile during the day. If anything, they were indifferent to the people there, and they were just walking and minding their own business. But the second that the lights turned off and the store was closed, manic, fucking out for blood, because, they were saying the store's closed, please leave, or whatever. They see the people there as trespassers rather than shoppers and, employees. So they, go to battle with them. But these people, every night, they got to defend themselves from these fucking employees in droves, like so many of them.
So that's why they had to barricade it.
That's why they had to barricade. And, what is crazy too is that if one of those SCPs sees another one dead, it makes them angrier. So it's like, it's good to kill them, but not. It's crazy. So, yeah, so that IKEA apparently was still monitored. They haven't really gotten anyone else out, but they wait for people to come out of it. And that one's classified as a Euclid because it's all the anomalous properties are in the store. It's unless you go in there, that's when you're affected by it. But otherwise, if you're not in there, you're fine. So
yeah, and since they have it all contained and protected, and there's like security from the SCP Foundation making sure no one else goes in, Euclid is still classified as safe as long as no one goes in.
Right. And what's crazy too is that they think that there's probably more IKEAs like that because when the people who survived were doing like these interrogations and interviews and stuff, they talked about how some people like had no memory of like basic landmarks and concepts and whatever. So they're thinking it's people from different parts of the world. And there could be more IKEAs. Anywhere where there's an IKEA, there might be more of them, but they're not sure, Yikes. And that's why it's so big. So yeah, that one's pretty bizarre too. That one's a popular one that a lot of people know for SCPs. But I just thought, like, out of all the fucking stores, like, of course it's IKEA,
I mean, have you been in an IKEA?
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a place other than literally Bed Bath & Beyond, like, if there was going to be a store that was going to have fucking weird creature employees attack its customers, it's IKEA.
Yeah.
Just saying. Like, there's a reason why that furniture is hard to put together. Okay,
I know, it's fucking with. That's why they have to just take parts of furniture and probably just use it as a barricade. They don't have time to put that shit together. The little Allen wrench they give you, what is that? You know,
True.
terrible. Anyway,
I just want that on a shirt from you guys. You know, you make like some merch or something for the Gemini archives, and it's just a fucking like in, you know, this creepy like blood dribbling lettering. It just says fucking IKEA.
Yeah.
The way you said it.
Oh, me or
fucking
Meg?
IKEA.
It's both
Fucking
of
dude, yeah, but that's fucking wild. Could you imagine? Just like, oh, I'm gonna go get a shelf, and then 3 years later, you're still in the IKEA.
Yeah,
And you're
I know.
fighting
And
for your life.
it's like you really have to go into the back of the store to get lost like that. If you stay towards the front and get out, you're fine.
Yeah.
But like, if you go venture too far, it sucks you in, and you can't leave.
That's wild.
You know, or you can leave, but you have to put up a fight. So, I know. Like, I don't know why they don't try and escape during the day, but I don't know.
Good question. Why don't
Yeah.
they escape during the day?
Maybe they're so far gone they can't even find their way out during the day. So,
True.
Maybe it's because at night that's the only time when the store changes to where you can actually get to the part of reality that like that's your route to actually get out, and it's too dangerous to go.
that's fucked up if that's true.
Because then you're probably in some sub-level chamber of a completely different IKEA where you're not even ground level. You're probably like 6 different iterations.
There's
Dude.
something.
And you
Yeah.
have no way to get to the regular one
And-
during the day.
That's the crazy thing about it. They don't know how big it actually is.
True.
They only probably scratch the surface of how big that IKEA
What
is.
if it's like the back rooms where it's just like endless, like infinite,
Yeah, like the
4
back
million
room?
miles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that IKEA makes me think of the back rooms. Like there's no end. And it's, you know, aisles and aisles and aisles of just all IKEA stuff forever. You know?
So imagine
Okay.
Dante's Inferno, but IKEA.
It's basically it. Yeah.
Yep.
The divine comedy is that you're trapped in IKEA with only meatballs to survive.
I know.
Only meatballs and shit furniture.
Shit.
Here, hold on. I want to
furniture.
make sure you can hear you. There we go.
Everyone can hear me, I hope, right?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Testing,
Anyway.
testing. Anyway,
Those were mine. And I thought about those for a long time. Like, those were the ones that made me think for a while. Like, I had to
That's-
sit there and be like, God damn.
that's the shit that'll keep you up at like 3 a.m. and you're just like, what if I do go into an IKEA and I never leave?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm scared to go in IKEA. Oops.
I know, right?
Anyway, I feel like I talked too much, but
That was really interesting. I really love that, honestly.
thanks.
Yeah, that's the stuff that would actually keep me up at night. We're not talking zombies, werewolves, Draculas, none of that stuff.
We're talking about
It's
an endless
IKEA.
IKEA.
Well, because
Yeah.
my favorite creepypastas are the ones with like video games or like tapes or stuff that have like creepy shit, almost like The Ring,
Oh, yeah.
you know, that have like stuff on it. Those are like my favorite ones because like, could you imagine just like buying a video game and then you play it and then it's like they're in your house?
yeah.
You know, like how many times have we seen that trope in
I know.
creepypastas? And it's like, you know, with the basketball game, it's like, but what if you weren't the one being tortured, but the people in the game were? You know, they like flipped it. And
Yeah.
it's just like, that's cool as fuck because usually it's like you put in the tape and then something comes for you as the viewer of the tape.
Yeah.
So for it to be the people in the tape or, you know, going into an IKEA and thinking everything's fine and then you're just like, wait a minute, before, you know, it's too late. It's just like, yeah, those are good picks. They're both like very much like conjure that feeling of hopelessness of just
Yeah.
like, well, this is my life and there's nothing I can do about it. I have to accept this.
At least with the IKEA, you have a chance to get out. That Miami
True.
Heat and Celtics tape, you have no chance. If you're stuck in there, you're stuck for the rest of your life. And for all of eternity, actually. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
but-
can't die either.
you can't die because when you restart the tape, you're back. So
Yep, everyone gets sacrificed, but once you start that tape, they're all back. So that's
Yeah.
like actual, like legitimate, like hell, like eternal
Mhm.
suffering. But then, like the IKEA, you at least have a chance of getting back, like purgatory,
yeah.
and then coming back to the,
And
you know.
What
real life.
bothers me is that basketball game one, that has kids. There's kids trapped in there.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I don't either.
So,
Yeah.
but at least in IKEA, as far as I know, there wasn't kids. So, just adults looking to get furniture for their first apartment, I guess. So, anyway.
You go for the meatballs and you will forever be eating meatballs. That sucks.
Yes.
Balls of meat.
Yeah. So, now it's Quinn's turn.
All right, we're going to do my first one. So,
And then we're going to go do a break after this.
yep.
So we don't
Okay.
talk your ear off.
So settle in, boils and ghouls. We're gonna we're gonna get into two creatures, one of which we'll start right now. It is called SCP-610, which is called the Flesh That Hates. It started back in. Well, let me give some brief summary to it. It's a flesh disease of some sort where it starts as like scarring, rashes, boils, different stuff like that. And what it does is it attacks your central nervous system and shuts down the body and you die. And then after 3 minutes, you reanimate at like a 2 to 3 times normal rate, where the rubbery like scar tissue envelops your skin. You grow these tendrils and like different limbs and different stuff. Your head becomes bulbous or like elongated, different stuff like that. And like, you don't even look the same. You're basically like a walking zombie entombed in this like forever like rubbery flesh. And they're very violent, very aggressive, and like their sole purpose is to either root to different things, different objects, the ground, whatever, and spread this disease essentially. So it's very much about like it sounds like 28 days later.
Actually, it sounds like The Thing.
It sounds like The Thing more so.
Yeah.
Actually. The Thing or Necromorphs from like Dead Space, kind of.
Yes, if
Just
anyone
with-
plays Dead Space.
Yeah. So we're going to go to the beginning really quick. So it's in a rogue Siberian small village where, you know, there's farmers, different farmland and stuff like that, and cattle and like livestock. And you know, the farmers start to notice like cattle starts going missing, and it's like, what the heck, like what's going on? You know, there's no bones, there's no like carcasses, nothing being left behind. It's like, what the heck? And then they start hearing inhuman screams in the woods at night that's right next to this village. Well, then the farmers start to go looking for it and they go missing. Now the townspeople are like trying to like find these missing people, and the police aren't doing anything. All they're doing is just like the reports. So it's like, oh yeah, we'll do our best to look for them. But basically it's just a cold case because during that time, I don't remember what time this started, but it was very much like a missing person happened in like a secluded village. No one's going to go looking for them. Sorry, there's too much at stake, you know? So it's a cold case. Then the police go missing. Once the police go missing, then military soldiers from the area start to get involved, and they go into the woods. Well, then they go missing now. Once they go missing, the Russian government send out agents fearing that there's like foreign espionage, assassinations, different stuff like that. They go into the woods. Then they go missing and they never return. They turn now the Russian government to the SCP Foundation to investigate. Here's so a little bit more about the Flesh That Hates, but oh, I forgot to mention, when the farmers went missing, one of the townspeople, or a boy, stated that he saw a cow that had like tendrils coming out of its face and different stuff like that, and that's already really weird and stuff like that. But it's a Keter class entity. It's hard to contain, so that means that the surrounding area, once that disease spreads, the perimeter or the area that they can contain is next to like nothing as far as security. So the total transformation for these zombies essentially is about 5 minutes max, give or take. We're going to go to where the SCP investigates. Now, what we're going to call is the farm village is Site A. They send a rover drone. The SCP Foundation sends a rover drone called Herbie. Now, Herbie goes through and sees a lot of these like life forms that are like the Thing and stuff like that. All these like flesh, like scar tissue zombies. They go to the farm town, and then he, like roams into a house where one of the SCPs goes in and has kind of like this like perverse dinner scene where it's essentially like, one of them, like sets out dinner plates and then extends his arm, and then tendrils and scar tissue and flesh start like breaking off and being put onto these plates. And then more infected come in and start eating like these this scar tissue and everything, like a perverse dinner scene, with a family and stuff like that sitting at a table. And they stuff them into like their gaping maws in their mouth, under their arms, into their chest or on their back and different stuff like that. So Herbie sees that, obviously he's a drone, he doesn't have any emotions, but the SCP Foundation's like, what the fuck? So they, he goes out of that, goes to a store and finds like a group of like, not a group, but like a pile of different decayed bodies and stuff like that, like soldiers and civilians, and then an infected person on top of it, rooting itself into these people, these decayed people. And at the end of the video, the transmission, Herbie's picked up by this like 8-foot tall SCP, and it turns around to go see what the face is. It's a 10-year-old girl, atop this like mounted like flesh-eating zombie body.
Jesus.
Oh God.
And it, her face splits open, and then these tendrils scoop Herbie in and then go into like her face basically, and Herbie's eaten. So SCP Foundation's like, all right, Herbie's lost, we gotta get a handle on this. Comes back maybe about 2 hours later, and then the transmission resumes, and it's slime covered. The footage, the Herbie's camera, it's all slime covered.
Ew.
So that's like I'll quickly run through these so I don't take up too much time in this case here. A drone is sent into Site B, which is the suburbs. Buildings are covered in scar tissue, cars are upturned, fires break out. It's worse than the farm town. A tremor actually happens, opening up the earth, where like SCPs can root themselves into the ground, and then these tendrils are like vines breaking up through the earth and through the tectonic plates. The drone goes down into the tremors, the tunnels and everything like that, and finds this underground sunken church, finding living and like half-infected prisoners. And then there's these perverse infection ceremonies where they're like stuffing scar tissue down like the throats of these people to turn them infected.
Sick.
Very black metal, very Cobalt.
Oh my God.
KVLT, how else would it be?
Oh my God.
Metal as fuck.
It's like Black Witchery's like, yo, I think I've got another album. Or Archgoat.
I could be Satan right now.
Yeah.
Fucking Satan right there, man. The last part of Site B, a half-infected leader kills the soldiers and the civilians that are trapped in there using weapons, and like a bunch of these different henchmen of just like completely infected zombies are using these scythes and like butchering people. So the flesh is adapting and becoming sentient. We don't need that. The drone is crushed or shot out of the air in the tunnel. So that's the end of Site B. Site C, this is the last one. And then I'll finish up with like little things here and there if you guys want banter then. It's about like investigating a city or the metro. This is Ground Zero, where it started. Ground Zero, they send in Class D individuals, aka like death row inmates. People who, they're already terrible people. That's not a loss to like
pedophiles
humanity.
And murderers and stuff.
Basically, and it's like they're promised freedom for this investigation research, and it's like, okay, we'll send you back out. We'll clear. They send these Class D individuals, test subjects who are death row inmates, going to be killed anyway. It doesn't matter. So I don't feel bad for them. They send them into the tremor tunnels of Site B that connect to Site C, which is Ground Zero. They go in, they start killing infected because they have guns and stuff like that. There's multiple casualties. They're started with like a group of 8 of them. They're down to 3 now. They find Ground Zero, and they find in film what looks like a gaping maw and like tendrils, almost looking like this kraken, like monster at the heart of the city, basically.
Jeez.
And just like spreading these spores everywhere, infecting the entire area. One of them gets completely infected. They have to kill one of the other inmates and stuff like that. And then like one of them, you know, straps bombs to his chest and then tries to get into the gaping maw and like kill the whole thing. Meanwhile, the third one is basically eaten alive. So that's the last of them. All die at Site C. So in general, this is a Keter class, being that, you know, however big this is actually spanning, we don't know, and it's impossible to contain. So very, very threatening. The last bonus is that there was like secret religions dedicated to this, where some of them are geared towards the flesh that hates, you know, they want to infect everybody. Then the other one is like a secret religion of like machines and stuff like that, where they want to contain everything. So it's a war.
That's crazy that people would worship something like that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's just complete and utter chaos versus like machines and order.
Wow.
But that's it.
I mean, people worship our president, and you know, we let that happen. So I guess anything is possible.
He's the hair that hates.
He's the
literally no.
But
the
that's
Cheeto that hates.
that reminds me, like if they put the Thing and plopped it in The Walking Dead, that's what it would be like.
Yep.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That is
that's
fucked up.
insane that it starts so small and gets so big. That's like every zombie movie ever.
Yeah.
It's like one person gets sick. That almost happened to us with the pandemic, but we got modern medicine, y'all. So it only lasted for a little bit.
I mean, I don't think there's any vaccine strong enough to protect against that. So
No, I don't think a vaccine would fix you because it reanimates the dead. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that anomaly is nuts.
It's
You
like
know?
the viral
Wild.
like contagion mixed with just the body horror and like complete like destruction of like the Thing.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
And like
to.
the way it spreads like the Thing, where it's like it goes from person to person to person, you
Yep.
know? And
Mhm.
it's like, it's not like you need to get bitten or anything. You could just get it. That's
Dude,
what scares
thing
me
is-
about the Thing. I know.
like I watched it for the first. I actually watched the original and the remake like a couple months ago, and holy shit, I didn't realize like how fucked up it was. Like, you know, it's like, oh, that's just nothing, and then all of a sudden someone's dog is dead. Like,
Yeah, they didn't have to kill the dog in that movie, and they fucking did. It's like, why? Why with the dog?
Can we
I
just
know, why-
stop killing animals in films?
Please.
It's like nobody wants to see it. It's fucking jarring. Like, why are you doing this? You know, for
For
emphasis?
shock value. It's like, you know what's shocking? Like, put a stake through a girl's tits. That's shocking. You know? Like,
Hey.
but not the dog,
Hey,
please.
I really love ribeye steak. If we put it on titties, that's just adding to the bonus, man. Sorry,
Oh, 'cause
we're
I said
talking about different steaks.
Yes, we are.
No,
Oh,
I
we're-
knew
We'll break now.
that.
I know we've been talking for a while.
I'm just
But-
kidding. And with that being said, so Quinn's picking the music this week because he is our guest in true Gemini Archives fashion. We are letting the guest pick. So, what song are we putting in, Quinn?
I'll make a quick little thing. This is actually about the flesh that hates. Our band, I made the lyrics for it, but I talked about the flesh that hates in a song called Necropossession from my band Tomb of Belial. You can see them on Spotify, Bandcamp. The lyrics are up on Encyclopedia Metalum. Please feel free to check it out. But
We'll
it's
link the
very
Bandcamp.
black metal.
Mhm.
What's that?
We'll link the Bandcamp so people can go check it out.
Sounds good. But yeah, that's really just my contribution to putting this into physical media form, you know, like wanting to put SCPs out there. And I shared it to a group at one point. We don't have to link that, but an SCP group. So hopefully someone liked it, but hopefully you
sure.
guys like it too.
It's black metal. Y'all better fucking like it, or I will flick you on the nose aggressively.
Well, I don't know if he's listening. A friend of mine, Mr. Matt Nevermore. Hi, Matt. Bought a CD, a Tomb of Belial CD a while ago. So thank you, Matt, for supporting. And check him out.
Matt, you're a real one. I really appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
So the rest of you get on that shit and buy a CD from Quinn. If
We
you like
have
it.
CDs. We have them in a box. We have to get rid of them. Please buy these fucking CDs.
Hey, Bader, I got some CDs for you.
Sorry. That's not because it's bad. It's just we have a lot of them.
No, there's a lot.
We have like 100 copies, so or something.
Yeah.
If anyone would like a CD, please email us at thegeminiarchives@gmail.com.
Please. I want emails. God flambit.
So we're gonna play that song, and then when we come back, Quinn will talk about his second SCP, and then I will talk about the ones that I picked, which are mildly terrifying. Maybe not as terrifying as, like, you know, a fucking tape that keeps you trapped forever. But
yeah, I mean, they're all terrifying.
I know there's like not a one that I read where I was like, oh, that's kind of stupid. They are all scary.
Yes.
All of them. Because even with creepypastas and stuff, sometimes you'll find a dud and you're like, this is kind of stupid. But like all of these are fucking terrifying. So if you're enjoying the podcast so far, let us know if you would like another part of this where we talk about SCPs. Because like Lauren said, there's like 1,000 of them. Like
there's
thousands.
Like over 3,000. I did 3,008. I mean, there's that many. So
yeah. So we would love to talk about this again. But yeah, we'll put in some Tomb of Belial and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
Hello, everyone.
So, hope you enjoyed that song from Tomb of Belial, which is very fitting for today's episode. It is on theme, on par, on
fleek, as the kids used to say.
Oh my god.
Yep. The Weave was snatched. My Hotel Trivago. That's exactly what that song did.
Oh my god. Are we showing our age?
Oh,
Probably.
Quinn just turned 30, so he's part of us now.
I'm part of the clan now.
Yep.
Not the K clan. We're just talking about the 30 and up clan.
Yeah.
The one where I should get my senior discount. Anyway, go ahead.
The other day I heard someone like using like Gen Z like terminology, and I'm like, I feel like I'm listening to a different language. I don't know. Like, I don't understand it. I'm so out of the loop. I don't even use slang anymore. Just racial slurs. I'm just kidding.
God damn,
I'm sorry. Hold on. The devil thawed me. Let me just put him back in real quick. Okay.
Just swallow the devil one more time.
Just there he goes. He's back in now. We're good.
That wasn't really a swallow. That was a fillet, Meg.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They filleted the devil.
God.
So Quinn,
that's black metal as fuck, man.
All right, let's
filleted the devil.
There you go.
All right. So the next one, is everyone ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. We're going to go for another creature, which, if you weren't already existentially dreading the last one, this one will take the cake for me at least. For everybody, you decide. This one is called SCP-3000. There are several names for this one, and if you have thalassophobia or giganophobia, you're probably not going to be a fan.
SCP-3000, I love that show. I'm sorry, please continue with what you were saying.
No, is that Andre 3000?
No, it's Mystery Science Theater.
Oh,
3000.
crap, that's right.
Yeah. MC3K.
Lauren got my joke.
I sure did.
Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome. It's okay. We'll let
Sorry, it was a bad joke. I'm so sorry. Please continue with what you were saying.
No, it's good. I'm just an uncultured swine, and I gotta
stop.
I gotta come up with the times, but that'll be after.
Mm-hmm.
So this SCP-3000 is called Anantasesha, which means the king or the god of serpents. It's descendant from Hindu religion or folklore, and is the god of chaos and destruction, which resides under Vishnu, which is like the god of light and different stuff like that.
If you're into gods and goddesses.
Yep. It's pronounced from earlier parts of folklore as the beginning and the end, Ouroboros, Leviathan, and the World Eater. Primitives back in however long ago when they first saw this called it God, made depictions of it, and essentially it's found in the Bay of Bengal, which is bordered by India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. This is a Thaumiel class entity, and which means that it's a great threat, and it's also a great asset to the organization. I'll mention briefly that Y909 compound, which was mentioned before, where they took different pills like amnestics to make sure they forgot about
the memory
everything.
loss pills.
The memory loss pills.
Mm-hmm.
This creature secretes a compound that makes the amnestics, that makes people forget about SCP organization and different things.
So it makes the goo that goes in the pill.
Exactly.
Got it.
So it's a chemical compound that makes you forget, and it's better to use this than other amnestics because they don't have side effects, but we'll get into that later. So what is this thing? It is a 600 to 900 kilometer massive serpent with an eel head, which 600 to 900 kilometers is about 373 to 560 miles long, which equals in length about 2,956,800 feet. That thing, ungodly long.
It can wrap around the Earth like over 100 times.
At least the size of Johnny Sin's dick. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
I was gonna say someone's gonna make a dick joke, and I was like, it's not gonna be. I'm gonna bite my tongue because usually it's me. Quinn got me covered.
I got you covered. Our male audience, you're welcome. So the eel head, it stretches about 2.5 to about 10 meters wide, which equals about 10, or they say 8 to 32 feet wide. I don't believe 2.5, meters to about 8 feet wide. I'd say probably like 10 meters to 32 feet wide. 32 feet wide sounds about right, for those in the not using the metric system. Direct eye contact causes cognitive effects or distortion, which equals memory loss, fear, paranoia, psychological disorientation, and existential dread. In general, confusion especially too. Even being in the direct vicinity gives off these effects of unease and confusion. That's where you get that feeling of the Y909 compound for amnestics. It secretes that compound, which the SCP harvests and different stuff. It's got rows of sharp teeth. It's carnivorous, but doesn't need sustenance. And it's able to track prey miles and miles away. To get into where this was first discovered, this was originally discovered by the SCP Foundation in 1971, when a few boats of fishermen went missing. So, they were tracking different seaboards, different stuff like that. And some had said that they had saw some type of serpent dragging these boats to the depths of the sea. And it was over in that Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India area in the Bay of Bengal. Well, we go to where there have been first reports of this, where submarines have investigated in that area, submarines I should say. They felt unease and confusion about orders that they were given, getting closer to it. One biologist even talked about losing his mind and had to be restrained while he was screaming no over and over again. When SCP-3000 looked directly at the submarine, the biologist who was being restrained writhed violently, feeling it was stinging his brain, and smashed his skull into the porthole of the submarine.
Jesus.
The biologist starts dying, and with the crack from the impact of his skull, they had to resurface to the top before pressure would, impact, and then everyone would die inside. So they resurfaced really quick, but as the biologist was dying, he says, "There's nothing, nothing, nothing." And he dies, just fading into oblivion mentally. So in that first excursion, Dr. Eugene Getz documents the research and embarks on multiple diver investigations and tries to be stealthy to kind of not use a submarine so much, but to use divers that go to that depth and different stuff like that. Maybe it's a little bit higher than what the Bay of Bengal goes all the way down. So they find SCP-3000 on the tracker. All the divers are getting confused as they get in proximity. Their call signs aren't, they're not too sure about where they're going. One mutters seeing oblivion and dark eyes peering right into his brain. All of them get eaten except for one of the last divers. So not Eugene Getz, but one of the last divers, he harvests the compound and ties it to a balloon to float to the surface, so at least they can extract that Y909 compound, the gray viscous substance that surrounds SCP-3000. As it floats to the top, he goes on the radio and says, "Don't bother looking for me. I'm not going to make it. But I just want to make sure that my research at least was found for you guys to figure out what this is and how it can be used." And there's intermittent breathing heard before he goes radio silent. And for 3 days, that radio keeps his breathing going on up until he dies. So whether or not he survived inside SCP-3000 and was breathing the whole time, or what happened, I don't know. Now we enter the, quickly, it's this person called Dr. Krishnamurthy, who actually was, like tracking all of that research and everything and development. And he went insane because of it, even dedicating his life to figuring out this Y909 compound. And he's also of Indian descent and states back to like the religions and beliefs that once all light goes out in the world, the eyes of Anantasesha remain, essentially devouring the world into eternal darkness. But once they figure out this ADSAC protocol, which Dr. Krishnamurti was a part of, they start figuring out we can use this as amnestics and use it in SCP Foundation to make sure that people forget about different research and different tests that happen and different stuff like that.
Or like experiences they went through with
all the
anomalies and other SCPs.
Exactly. All the trauma that they experienced during that time. And, they'll use it even on people that are caught in the crossfire that are civilians that aren't test subjects realistically, that like they want to use that so then they have no recollection of the SCP Foundation in general. But they keep trying to use this over and over again to extract this Y909 compound to give as pills, shots, you name it, just so then they can keep testing these test subjects over and over again. So then they can keep going with it with a bright mind, keep testing all that fun stuff. It's like Portal, but deeper trauma.
Way more fucked up.
Way more fucked up. I'll go through this last part basically. So Dr. Krishnamurti is with Dr. Manava, who keeps continuing this ADSAC protocol of gathering this substance and different stuff. What ADSAC protocol is that basically they sedate a Class D subject who is a inmate or death row inmate, and then they feed the inmate, like with a rover to bring him to SCP-3000 and basically sacrifice him, so that once SCP eats the person, it secretes that liquid or the viscous liquid. Once then they have skilled divers that have about a 2.5 hour rate at which they can get the compound and stuff like that. So they hurry and do that, but Krishnamurti is just losing his mind. He's to a point to where he's so confused about what's going on, and he's in the sub and he's trying to look over the process. He puts on the gear and stuff like that, the scuba gear, and heads out to the airlock and locks himself out, like getting away from people trying to restrain him. And so he goes down and tries to confront SCP-3000 and is trying to be like, you're something, trying to communicate with it. It's like, you must be a god, I'm trying to communicate with you and stuff like that. But then once he gets closer, he finds out before he's devoured and before he dies, he states that this is not a god, this is something worse.
Jeez.
So in all intents and purposes, this was a god, but it is the god of the underworld.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Disguised as a giant, big ass eel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you said that is very interesting is that it doesn't need to eat. Basically, it eats for fun. Like, imagine never having to be able to eat ever, and people just feed you anyway.
And they feed it just to get this like Y909 compound out of you.
Yeah.
But you're basically just eating for sport. It's like feeding, this like helpless person to a pack of raptors at Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But they need
That's
sustenance.
Nuts.
SCP-3000 doesn't, because he's so much of like this like being of existential dread, where it's like, I remember one of the short films, it said the eclipse of mankind is imminent, submit. Basically just like saying that mankind has gone too far and your death is imminent. Just
we can link that
it
in the description, that short film about SCP-3000. So that
one definitely is worth it.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how massive that thing is too, because I remember watching it with you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's from a channel called something Forlorn Foundry, I think, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll message you about it later, Megan, but yeah, that's one of my favorite ones to watch.
But that's something that I have in common with SCP-3000 is that I too like to eat for fun. So, you know.
Same, bitch.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Dude, I prefer eating over most things in life. Like,
yeah.
you know, I enjoy a lot of different kinds of things. Music, art, stuff like that. Food, it's like fucking top tier.
Yeah.
Like, I will eat when I'm happy, when I am sad, when I am bored. I will eat literally whenever, which is probably why I have a weight problem. But you know, that's the one thing we have in common. I too like to eat for fun.
Me too, girl. Me too.
And I do excrete a lot when I eat too much. I get the meat sweats, you know?
I just fart a lot.
Yeah. You do that when you don't eat.
I just
You eat farts, I feel like.
Yeah, I excrete laughing gas, which no one's laughing except for me.
You're the only one laughing, and we are all banging on the door trying to get out.
It's like, oh God, please.
Yeah. We're stuck in a, you know, basketball game from 2010 trying to get out.
All you can smell is my farts. There's no popcorn.
No, that ain't popcorn. Something popped.
Something popped. I won't say what it is, but it ain't
But it
gonna be
popped.
pretty.
Anyway, that was very interesting.
Yeah, that's
Dude, that's
definitely one of my
crazy.
favorites.
Hmm.
I think that's where my
That's one of the scariest ones, I feel like.
yeah, it's just existential. Like it's just a god that, like, how do you contain something like that? It can roam wherever the hell it wants to.
It's bigger than the circumference of the Earth,
Mhm.
which is 25,000 miles, which I found out recently.
There's no containing that. I don't think we possess enough resources on the planet to
No.
contain something like that. It just, it's like, all right, bro, I guess you're just here now. You know? Like, guess we're just gonna learn how to coexist, because
Unless
you know.
the planet of Saturn came down and took his ass out, there's no way, you know?
And I mean, like, what they say in like length and different stuff is just hearsay. That 520, 560 feet or miles or whatever it was, you know, 2 million, however many feet, that's just hearsay. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
That thing could stretch around the whole entire world and we wouldn't know.
At least twice.
Yeah.
Just
that's too
nuts.
big. I'm like, I am one of these people that has like, and I know this isn't technically stomachanophobia. I don't like the thought of giant things submerged into water. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
So like, can you imagine just like being out in the ocean and then seeing something that massive? I would have an existential crisis and a panic attack at the same
Yeah,
time.
I was gonna say, even if I saw like a manatee in the ocean, they're like the most harmless giant thing in the ocean, I would pass out. You know, just to be in open water with them because they're too big. Literally, a blue whale, heart attack. Forget it. You know, I couldn't even go near that. So to see something that is quite literally that size, I would simply pass away.
Yes.
Just die right there.
What
So-
was the ocean game and stuff with the Leviathans?
Oh, Subnautica.
Subnautica.
Hmm.
That already scares me enough. I don't need like
Some of those are massive. They're sea
I'm
dragons.
gonna put a little clip here of that Reaper Leviathan or whatever it's called.
I hate that
Dude,
thing.
the roar.
That's not
That
even
thing
a
is
big one,
horrible.
but it's aggressive. And I hate it. He fucks your ship up and he'll kill you instantly. I hate that thing. So
Lauren still
Anyway.
has beef. She hasn't played the game in like 5 years.
I have it,
Still
and I'm
has beef.
still salty about it.
I feel like
I
another
see what you did
Goku
there.
rant, except for it's the Leviathans.
Okay, but look, I mean,
Don't get me started about Leviathans. This motherfucker keeps coming back.
he does.
Leave him alone.
I don't want to leave him alone. I want him to go away.
Leave me alone, thank you.
But then there's ones like reefbacks who are harmless, and they have a whole ecosystem on the back of their, you know. Anyway, Subnautica is a whole other thing. I'm not getting into it, but
So
well,
I have a couple that
yes,
I would like to share with you.
let's
You're
move on.
not necessarily as in depth as the ones you guys picked. They're both objects though. Of course, the first one. What the fucking number? Hold on, I have notes. We're gonna consult the notes.
At the notes.
First one is SCP-1851. There's also SCP-1851-1, which I'll get to in a minute. It's a porcelain doll, basically. Of course, I picked the porcelain doll. Of course I did. There is one right there.
One? There's rows of them.
We're not talking about the one on the chair. I know it's not porcelain, but still.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's plastic. But she looks kind of like this one. So it's a doll that's like basically life-size, human size. Described to be pale with like brown hair and blue eyes. And is depicted as a maid. Depending on who you ask, she's depicted as a maid. So this doll lives in like a giant Victorian house, because of course she does, by herself. And it's just in the middle of the woods. Like, it's not near anything in particular. It's just, you know, if you're in the woods and you stumble upon it, then you find it. And the thing about this, it's also a Euclid. So it only is harmful if you get in direct line of it, or whatever the explanation was that you had before.
No, that you're right. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what happens with this doll, so she has this beautiful Victorian house, pristine. Like, the outside, it looks all run down and dilapidated and stuff. You go inside, pristine, beautiful, looks like brand new, basically. And that's because she lives alone and she cleans the house and keeps it ready because she's waiting for her family to come back. But here's the thing, they don't. You know, they're not coming back because they're from 200 years ago. You know, like, she's waiting for this family to return. And, you know, part of the family is they had a daughter. So, you know, she was interviewed by a researcher that actually works for the SCP Foundation. And what she told her was that, you know, the daughter's birthday, it's going to be her 9th birthday. It's coming up soon. So she wanted to get her plenty of toys. These toys that she's been collecting for her are basically animals that have just like waltzed into the house. And animals seem to be drawn to it for whatever reason. It could be just for her, you know, from her just being an animal person. There's a lot of like speculation, that's the word I'm looking for, as to why. So what happens is when she encounters an animal, if she likes the animal, cat, dog, squirrel, whatever the hell it is, she'll turn it into a stuffed animal. And it'll get real tiny and turn into like a cute little stuffed animal. And then that is supposed to be a gift intended for the daughter. But if she doesn't like the animal, she kills it. As one does when they don't like something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think if I left something out. So, you know, there's a part of it. One day, a boy, like, his dog got loose, and he, you know, followed him into the woods, and then he saw him go into the house, and he saw his dog get turned into a stuffed animal, and then she saw the boy and like tried to attack him because he was not an animal. So she's only hostile when there's someone in the house that isn't her family or isn't an animal. So, and she doesn't leave her house though. And, well, she'll kind of like tend to the garden and stuff like that, but she doesn't leave the property basically. And, you know, the SCP Foundation, when they saw the high number of like pets going missing and stuff like that, and then they found the house, blocked off the house so nobody could get in, you know, and they had surveillance out there and stuff like that. And that's when they sent in the researcher to interview her. But they basically consider the stuffed animals, you know, the pets that get turned into toys, to be SCP 1851-1. So that's where that comes from. So those are technically SCPs because they're anomalies in their own right, because they were living, breathing creatures, and now they are stuffed animals. So they consider it its own little like subset of the SCP, which is fucking wild. But of course, you know, like, you know, she's just waiting for her family to come back. So you kind of feel bad for her because it's like, you know, all she wants is her family to return and like life to be normal and stuff. But she doesn't realize like that's never going to happen. So in an attempt to maintain normalcy, she's killing people, transforming animals, just like she became her own anomaly in that sense while waiting for the family to return. So I thought that was pretty cool because, like, I love dolls, of course. Like, we all know this. But
it kind of plays into the trope, too, because people are very afraid of porcelain dolls because they're almost too lifelike, And it kind of plays into that with that SCP because it's giving the doll feelings and, a sense of, like, memories, and, like, it's making it human-like, and it's the fact that, she has the memory of the family and she feels sadness and whatever, but dolls aren't supposed to be like that. So I think that's nuts.
The researcher even said, like, she saw, like, when she was talking about the family, her demeanor kind of, like, changed a little bit. Like, her expression was mostly stoic, but her demeanor did change when talking about the family. So there's some indication that she can like feel some kind of emotion, but her appearance, she just looks like a stoic porcelain doll, but she possesses feelings. So it's like this weird, like, paradox, because it's like, there's also speculation that she was probably a doll that belonged to the daughter, and then in the family's absence became, humanoid, right. Like this anomaly that's just waiting for, the family to come back. So I thought it was cool. Like, do you imagine just stumbling, like, walk through the woods, and the mansion is, like, huge. Like, it's not just like a tiny Victorian house. It's like a mansion.
Yeah, in the middle of the woods.
Yes. In the middle of the woods. First of all, I would have a field day. Second of all, I would be like, all right, I live here, and then kick that bitch out. Like, I'd be so excited. But so I really like, I know it's not like the most in-depth thing, but I just thought it was really cool because it's like, people are terrified of porcelain doll. Like, you see my office, I have so much crazy shit in here. I have a bust of Gigi Allen as a zombie. I got this thing. I got fucking, all kinds of
this
crazy
thing.
stuff.
I know what that is.
My Iron Maiden giant thing on the wall.
Sorry.
But the one thing that people always get freaked out about is my regular porcelain dolls. Not the fucking Living Dead dolls that I have, not anything else. It is my porcelain dolls and then my 3-foot fucking doll that I have over here. The Patty Play Pal doll. That is my favorite thing on the planet. That's what freaks people out. So I feel like it would be less scary if she was all, like, broken and just whatever. But, like, it's so funny how, like, something so normal freaks people out so much,
Yeah. I think I can touch to a little bit of that from, like, Madame Tussauds Wax Museum from, like, New York.
Oh, yeah, which we also went to.
Yeah, I went past, like, Angelina Jolie and, like, Johnny Depp and, like, Brad Pitt and different stuff like that, mere inches from my face and different stuff. And just, like, I think it's the scary part that it looks uncanny and it looks real. And like, you expect it to come to life, and that's the thing where I think it's like that sense of unease with dolls and everything, that like the unknown and possessing something so innocent and so sweet looking and like, something familiar like a celebrity and stuff like that, where something as like scary as like a demonic, like essence or like a spirit, like possessing that thing, or, in this sense of like a porcelain doll possessing that object to, kill animals, kill people, different stuff like that. Even if it's porcelain and doesn't look exactly uncanny like human flesh. I mean, I don't know if I couldn't remember if you said it did look like human flesh. I don't know.
No, it looked like a straight up doll.
Gotcha. But even still, it's like the, living as if a human, lived in the house and like as tall as a human as well too. That I can kind of get behind. But like the Living Dead dolls, it, you go to Spirit Halloween and you love stuff like that. You love seeing it. So, and it doesn't, to me, you and Lauren, it doesn't scare us because we love Halloween. But something as real as like a doll, that might scare people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, I read that one and I was just like, sick. Really love that. So it's funny because the other one, the last one that I chose, is actually considered one of the first SCPs and probably the most popular, is SCP-173. And that is called the Sculpture. It also classifies a Euclid. And no matter, I searched high and low, the origin of this thing is unknown. It literally just was there one day. Excuse me. And so it's a sculpture. It's kind of like, I'll put pictures of everything too, of course. And so the face of it is like, it looks like somebody took like a fully formed sculpture and just smushed it in the center. It like looks like the face is like kind of smushed in on itself. And I believe it was made, what was it made with? Hold on, I have it here. Constructed from concrete and rebar with traces of Krylon brand spray paint, which is very specific, if you ask me.
Very.
So, it's mostly made of concrete, and it looks very like just crude and industrial. And so the thing with this sculpture is that if you're looking at it, it doesn't move. But the second you look away from it, it comes after you. So you have to keep looking at it if you don't want it to kill you. Because if it gets to you, it'll snap your head right off. It'll break your neck or whatever it is. Whatever it does.
You're right.
It violently will kill you.
Yep.
And there was actually a video game made about this called SCP Containment Breach or Containment.
That's what I referenced before because I'm like, oh, it's SCP Containment Breach when talking about the abbreviation of it. That's not it, it's the game.
So I've never seen anyone play I know you said you guys have seen playthroughs of it.
It's over a decade old, and it's like PewDiePie back in the day played it, and like any gamer YouTuber back then played it. Just you can look it up and watch anyone play it, honestly.
Yeah, there's some footage of it here, and I guess it's in the game. But I wanted to talk about this one because it is considered like one of the most popular. I'm going to assume mostly because of the video game.
Yeah.
But because it's also one of the first, or considered one of the first, which is funny because it's, SCP-173. I'm like, what about the 172 others before it?
Yeah.
Unless they're not in like, sequential order. But like, excuse me. Yeah, there's not much information about it other than don't let it get to you, because if you look away from it, it'll kill you. And I feel like speaking of video games, there's a lot of video games that use that trope too. Where it's like, I forgot who it was, I think I watched the Game Grumps like years ago, play this horrific, like bad game called Krampus. Or Krampus is at my house, or whatever the hell it was called. And one of the mechanics in the game is that there's a reindeer that follows you around, and if you look at it, it stops chasing you, but the second you look away, it runs after you. And I'm just like, that feeling is fucking terrifying, by the way, of just like, okay, I can't look away or something's gonna get me, because it's almost the opposite. Like, traditionally, in not even just horror games, but like movies and stuff, you want to get away from the thing that's following you. And usually, like, if you remain undetected, it won't see you. But with this, it's like you have to look at it for it to leave you alone. And it just gives you that sense of like vulnerability, which is horrible. Like, it's a horrible feeling, especially like, in that Krampus game too. It's like you're by yourself, and there's like other things that are trying to get you too, and it's just like you have to worry about other things creeping up on you because you have to look at the deer, and it's like, it's horrible, So I wanted to include this one because it was one of the first. But yeah, it's basically just like this fucking creepy sculpture that will kill you if you're not careful and you don't stop looking at it. And I guess it, depending on who you ask too, it has to detect you first in order for that to work. So like, if it doesn't detect you, like, you can get away from it like unscathed if it doesn't know that you're there. But the second it sees you, you're fucked, basically. There's like no way to escape it except to just look at it.
Or have multiple people looking at it, sort of thing, and then to hurry and like shut the door of its enclosure or something like that.
Yeah. So
as long as it's being observed in one way or another, even on like a security system, then it'll stay there. I think that's the only way for them to, do it like securely and like to contain it. So.
Yeah. And it's not really considered a huge threat because as long as you stay the fuck away from it, you're fine. Kind of like with the Victorian doll. Excuse me, also. As long as you're, don't stumble upon it or you don't, come into contact with it, you're good. So, just one of those things where it's like, you're fucked if you stumble upon this thing. So, but yeah, and the statue, just reminds me of like, I don't know, like some modern art shit. That's all I can really say. Like some really bad modern art. Looks like something like, it's supposed to just, represent our suppression. It's like, shut up, nerd. Like, no, it just looks terrible. Like, like
literally.
It reminds me of like almost like early sculptures of like Mesoamerican like people and like indigenous people and stuff like that. Maybe not so much with like the abstract, like, because it's very simplistic kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's very like simplistic with like its features, the smushed in face, but like it reminds me of those early stages of like civilization kind of sculptures.
Yeah. And like, excuse me, oh my god, I'm sorry. Like if I were to speculate, I would say that would probably be like the origin is like some kind of, maybe indigenous, South American, African type of country.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's like a very similar art style, but it was never been confirmed where it's from. So, yeah.
That's crazy that things can just happen out of nowhere like that.
Yeah, and I guess that's like with all of like the SCPs, it's kind of like, well, how did this even happen? Is the question. Like,
they happened out of nowhere.
Yeah, like how do these anomalies just like occur? Because, like we talked about a lot of this stuff before, just like the back rooms and Glitch in the Matrix type stuff and just weird like mimics, like weird shit that just occurs in life that has little to no explanation. And it's like, that's why SCPs, even though they're basically satire, they're really interesting because it's like, well, it sounds like it could happen. Like it sounds like, there probably is a sculpture that like you have to look at so it doesn't kill you. Like that sounds like it could be a thing. So that's why they're all interesting.
What? I got a quick parallel actually to draw from that. You guys have talked about in Monroe, Connecticut, the Warren's Occult Museum.
Yeah.
Imagine having SCP-173 and like the Warren's Occult Museum, and like that's where they like held it. Like imagine, 173 reminds me of a bunch of those different cursed objects and stuff like that. But imagine that kind of thing where they discover what it actually does and kills you like that.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. Like the sculpture, 173 looks like one of the dolls that's in the museum. I'm not even kidding. I'm just like, that's why I was trying to dance around that because I'm like, I don't want to bring attention to this, but it's true. Like,
sorry.
No,
I couldn't help it. Yeah.
Because it's literally like, it's the doll that's supposed to like, and I put a picture of it in one of our previous episodes. It's supposed to like haunt your dreams and stuff. And that thing fucked me up more than being near the Annabelle doll.
Yeah,
like
true.
I hated it. So, it's funny. Like, yeah, this is the first one, and then, consider one of the first ones. I don't know how true that is because I try to like look it up, and like with SCPs, it's mostly just like people kind of going back and forth because they're not real. So it's like people, have different interpretations and stuff like that. So with this one though, it is, it's a terrifying concept, like, you can't, it's kind of like with the, what is it? The Weeping Angels?
From like a Doctor Who or something like that.
Yeah, where you have to look at them and then it's like you turn around and they're like in like this crude position.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do remember.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it makes me feel weird.
Well, there's like another SCP. It's like 096. It's called the Shy Guy. Basically, looks like the Rake or like one of the monsters from the Descent and everything like that. Very Skinwalker-ish. but like it's almost the inverse of like if you observe it through, you know, like a lens or, you know, like something in particular, like a photograph, it comes after you and tries to kill you. But it's the inverse in this case of 173, where if you don't observe it, it will kill you.
Okay, final thoughts. What would you rather deal with? Having to look at it so you don't get killed, or the opposite, like the inverse? What do you think would be more easy to deal with?
I think avoiding it, because having to look at something indefinitely, that takes a lot of time. Like, God forbid you look away for a second. You know, it's easier to avoid than to look at it, honestly.
Yeah, it's just it's too tempting of a possibility where it's like, oh, don't observe this or he'll kill you if you stop looking at it. And then it's just like, okay, I will. But then part of you's like, but what does it look like?
But I'd rather just have that question in my head than know every detail of its face, because I have to look at it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would drive me crazier, because then I couldn't look anywhere else. I couldn't do anything else. I'd have to watch this thing indefinitely for the rest of my life.
And once it observes you, it will try and get you. So if it gets out of containment, it's coming after you too.
Yeah. So
yeah. No, I would say the same. Like, you know, let us know in the comments, what would you rather deal with if you had to choose? You know, you can't say neither. Don't be a puss about it.
Yeah. Just, I wouldn't even hear it. It's like, no, but you're in the situation. Like, what would you rather?
If you're in the situation, what do you think would be more ideal?
Yeah.
Even though neither of them are ideal. But you know what I mean.
Yes.
So yeah. That was our discussion about SCPs. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Can I make one final remark about SCP-3000?
Yeah.
It's an Alaskan bullworm!
Literally. It's probably an Alaskan bullworm.
It's literally just the Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm. That's not the worm.
It's matches.
It's its tongue.
Oh, it's its tongue.
And the whole thing is the worm. That's for the SpongeBob people who listen to our show.
Which is probably like 3 of you. So for you 3 that like SpongeBob, there you go.
And that's why I said, what am I doing later today? I'm hanging out with an underwater Texan squirrel, and we're fighting the Alaskan bullworm.
Yeah.
Full circle.
I came full circle, y'all.
Well, on that note, what's the other song you're going to put in, Quinn?
I'm going to put in something for all of you black metal nerds who are going to say the demos were always better, who are like, yeah, I liked it better when it was after this demo from 2001 made from someone's basement. Shut up. No one cares. But you know what? I kind of care. So we're listening to I know people might know this band, but it's Leviathan. The guy Rest. It was one of his demos from the Misanthropic Necroblasphemy demo, and it's called Sodomize the Golden. It's a phenomenal track. I also love the second track from that demo called Mudhole, but the first one's amazing, so definitely check it out.
Hell yeah. We're going to end this with Satan, y'all.
Hell yeah.
The biggest anomaly of all, Satan himself.
Satan.
Before we go, thank you guys for having me.
Oh yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We'll have to do another episode because this is really fun. It was like, it's kind of like you said this earlier, Lord. It's like doing a book report on something you actually enjoy doing.
Yeah, and I don't have to hand it in on Monday. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And no matter what, it gets graded with an excellent A+.
Yeah. And the last time Quinn was on the podcast was in 2020 when you came to visit. Please don't listen to that episode. It's gross.
Don't nobody go check that out.
No, we might need to delete that one. It was too raunchy. I'm so sorry.
Was it raunchier than our 4 stickers in the freezer episode?
I mean, it was pretty much the same.
It was
honestly.
really bad.
Yeah.
I won't go into it, but we were still in the newlywed stage, and you know how when you get with someone, you're inseparable.
And you're
Yeah.
gross. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gross. Now we've been married for what, 2.5 years almost, and together for almost 6. It's like we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, not that it's like we see each other as gross, but like we're not as overtly like, you know,
Yeah.
lovey-dovey as that.
Yeah, we're not like, oh, get a room, you guys.
Yeah.
We're not like that kind of couple.
I'm like, I'm just here for snacks. You know?
I just want to devour food without needing sustenance.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, food is like, I would
Yeah.
prefer food over most things in life.
It's same. And you know
If you
what?
wa-
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, if you want to make me happy, feed me.
Yeah.
You're
That's
kidding.
what I tell people about the dynamic of our relationship. How did you put it?
Oh, it's like I'm more of the romantic physical touch guy, and that's my love language. And I'm like raising my hands in the air, squeezing my hands, and I'm like uppies.
Yeah.
And then you're like, your love language is food, and you're like hungies.
Yeah, I just want food, and he wants all the affection in the world, and I'm like, oh, but I gotta eat first.
Like, you can have affection after the Panera.
Yeah, please. After
That-
whatever we're eating.
That is the most accurate depiction of your relationship ever.
I'm serious. That's exactly how we are.
And then Megan's a combination of both of those.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
First
like,
hungies, then uppies.
yes,
Yeah.
food comes first.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm taller than you by a little bit. So uppies is like a reality, you know?
Yeah, literally. Small Kings, where you at?
By small kings, he's only 5'8". But
Yeah, so that's like 50 of you.
I'm just
probably.
abnormally freakishly tall for a woman. Like
Yeah,
5'10".
same.
You're
Yep.
5'11". So
5'11". Jesus.
it's the Polish in us. It's like we're so freaking tall. It's like,
Yeah.
God.
It's so funny.
I'm glad you're not intimidated.
I don't mind. Everyone shout out in the comments who loves Alcina Dimitrescu or Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil 8. Y'all know you love her. I don't want to see none of that.
The big vampire lady with the big old titties and ass.
That 9'6" mommy milking son of a gun over
Mommy
there.
milking.
What?
She ain't milking shit in that game.
No, I mean, well,
Oh, you're talking. Okay, sorry.
she got the Dobon Honkaros.
She does have milkies.
She got the Hanlala Lagangas.
What the fuck is even happening right now?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
watching amazed. Just
This
like
is-
at this.
This is 6 years of being together. We are just fucking weird. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how to describe it.
Anyways,
Guys are my favorite.
my next Halloween I'm Ethan Winters, your Lady Dimitrescu.
I have to get big heels for that, like big heels.
You don't need to be
Stripper
that tall.
No, I do.
Okay.
I'm only 5'10". I have to at least get over 6 feet.
What I'll do is I'll just walk on my knees and then have my shoes at my knees.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, we could do that.
That's how we'll take the pictures.
Well, on that
So-
note,
Yeah. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
So
dude, thank you
going
for joining us.
Oh yeah. So going back to everything, thank you guys for joining us, for having me on here, for listening to us talk about SCPs and for our funny banter. I'll just re-say the song. This is Leviathan from their demo, Misanthropic Necroblasphemy. This is Sodomize the Golden. Megan, if you want to take us out.
No, I think we're going to stay here for an extra 10 seconds and make it awkward. Hold on.
Okay. Do 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 do.
I don't like it.
I literally am just sitting here like, no, we're just going to make it so fucking awkward. Thank you, everyone. I don't know when our next episode's going to be. Sometime soonish. We're going to do some cool shit.
Depending on the holidays and, if we
depending on the
survive.
holidays.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
bye.
Bye everyone.